Where the hell is this game? Anybody? We've heard next to nothing since its cinematic reveal in 2021, just whispers that it's alive and simmering. But recently things are starting to heat up, at least I think so. According to YouTuber Azitru, Quantic Dream is casting actors for motion capture, with filming set to begin this year. I mean, that's real movement, isn't it? A good sign, for sure. But what really caught my attention were the leaked casting sheets. You see, if they're legit, Star Wars Eclipse is described as an epic tragedy featuring dramatic moments and spectacular action scenes. While the game is canon to the franchise, the art direction and overall tone is mature and dark. See, mature and dark, you know. It's about time. Are we actually coming up to that one Star Wars game that really hones in on what a whole era should be defining? I don't know, maybe. Now yes, obviously Quantic Dream has had its share of controversy in recent years. Something I'm not going to get into here, but it's worth looking up if you're curious and want to know more about that. Still, this is a studio with a proven track record in narrative-driven storytelling shaped by consequence. Does anybody remember Fahrenheit back on PlayStation 2, I think it was? I loved that game. Obviously you've got Heavy Rain and you've got Detroit Become Human. Those games, they're the obvious ones. But they're all built around choice, emotion and impact. Consequence, as I say. But what if this time they're building something far bigger, something more ambitious, more expansive, more action-oriented than anything they've ever done? Well, today I want to explore how Star Wars Eclipse could succeed exactly where the High Republic is consistently falling short, by delivering the intricate politics, compelling drama and mature Jedi storytelling that we're promised. Let's lock in. The High Republic was pitched to us as Star Wars' next grand era, and I was actually quite all for this at the time, 200 years before Phantom Menace, it wasn't quite Old Republic, but hell, they were going back to when politics could be explored and, the period of new Jedis and new characters all removed from the Skywalker saga. This new era would show new Jedi characters at their peak and allow for some fresh new villains as well. It was ultimately supposed to capture the magic of discovery into the Outer Rim and exploration while introducing fresh characters and concepts. And if it did all that for you, then I'm genuinely happy for you. But for me, and what seems like most other fans, it's been a total failure. Despite its ambitious premise, it struggled to resonate widely. The initiative's narrative was spread thin across multiple mediums like books, comics, and there's no standout characters. A common trope these days in Disney Star Wars. You see, I've read 3 books in the High Republic and tried enough of the comics to see that it's an overcrowded cast of characters which made emotional investment extremely difficult. Additionally, the High Republic missed so many opportunities as well to deliver gritty, lived-in aesthetic and mature storytelling that so many fans crave now. The prequel era boys, they've all grown up. You see, Star Wars Eclipse should finally be the realisation of what the High Republic intended to be. I've always boasted that in an ideal world, this should have been the launch pad for the era as a whole. You have a platform in video games to get creative and really swing for the fences with the tone and art styles. Which, sounds like what they're trying to do here, but I guess we need to be patient and see. Eclipse promises a dramatic shift from typical Star Wars storytelling in video games, opting instead for a complex narrative with multiple protagonists and morally ambiguous choices. This is Quantic Dream's trademark. It's their gameplay that revolves around branching storylines and where each decision drastically impacts the narrative outcome. Imagine navigating the morally grey Jedi politics, or witnessing firsthand the nuanced tensions and shadowy conspiracies shaping the galaxy. It's important to note that the game will be an action-adventure, meaning less of the detective, conversational type-oriented gameplay that we're used to from the studio. I still think there'll be loads of conversations that will have these branching trees that, take the story in different places, and certain characters remember certain things you said, or bring it up in really high consequential moments in the game, if that makes sense. I still believe the High Republic era has massive potential, honestly, but I'd argue this is the last swing at achieving that. So let's just make these guys the Yuuzhan Vong, alright? The villainous race that lives outside of the realm of the Force, making them one of the Jedi's deadliest foes. For those who don't know, the Yuuzhan Vong are antagonists from Legends. They actually had no Force presence that could be sensed from the Jedi, and were mostly unaffected by Force powers. But yeah, with this dark figure here, the one they look to be waking up, let's make him the supreme overlord of the Yuuzhan Vong. I want to see him get hold of a saber and have an epic showdown in the game as well. That would be very gas, very gas, very gas. Also, with its branching dialogue choices, Eclipse could capitalise on exploring deeper themes of power, corruption, and ethical ambiguity within the Jedi Order itself. We might experience a galaxy defined by shades of grey, a mature, thoughtful, and impactful narrative fitting into Star Wars canon. If Star Wars Eclipse delivers, it could redefine what fans expect from the High Republic era. By prioritising compelling character arcs and darker storytelling and intricate, politically charged scenarios, Eclipse might establish itself as the definitive interpretation of this time frame on screen. I mean, that shouldn't be too difficult, should it? You tell me. Quantic Dream's approach could finally give fans memorable heroes and truly compelling villains, reshaping perceptions of the High Republic. Cinematic visuals, deeply personal storytelling, and impactful consequences for every choice. Eclipse could breathe new life into the era, making it an essential and celebrated part of Star Wars lore. So what do you think? Do you think Star Wars Eclipse would stand a better shot with the fandom if it took on this mature and dark tone, rumoured? And do you think it's the High Republic's last shot at redemption after, well, let's call it a turbulent few years? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, like, share and subscribe if you appreciate content like this. Until next time, wishing you all truly a fantastic day.